Greetings, friends. Sleepy here, and welcome to another episode of the weekly playlist. It's Friday. I've been playing some great games this week that I want to share with you. Of course, I'd like to hear what your guys' thoughts and opinions are on the games I share with you today. I'd also like to hear what games you guys have been playing recently, and if you have any suggestions on games you think I should play, please let me know. I like your guys' suggestions. You guys have suggested some great games so far. I've got a nice little list going on my phone, and I like to keep adding to it for new games for me to experience. We'll start off here at the first game. My buddy Grant was able to come out again on Monday. I had another retro gaming night, which I absolutely love having these retro gaming nights. It's always fun to play retro games, especially with your friends when you can have people come over. And I always enjoy having my buddy Grant come over and play games with me. One of the games we are playing again is we're continuing our work on Donkey Kong for the Nintendo 64. An absolutely wonderful title. We're having a blast with it. He hadn't actually ever played this game before we started playing it this year, and he's got to experience it, and he's having a blast with it. I'm loving it, getting to go back again. We do have finally have all five of the Kongs unlocked, and we're about 40, maybe 45% of the way done with the game, so not quite halfway, but we're getting there. Wanting to unlock all the bananas and all the secrets and the coins and stuff, which there's a lot of stuff to collect in this game. You have to collect in each of the worlds. All the Kongs have five different bananas to get, and then they have all their own collectibles to get in there as well. You have several things to collect, but we're having a good time with this. I like the story. The graphics are really good, especially for the time. And it's a fun title. I definitely would recommend you guys get Donkey Kong 64. Fairly cheap title, usually priced around 15-20 bucks here in my local area, and it's a fun game. You can play with up to 4 players in the multiplayer mode, which I do enjoy that. We have not played that yet, but I used to play that a lot of time where the four Kongs would battle each other in different game modes and stuff. And you could choose one of the five Kongs as your character, and that was really fun. But him and I are working on beating this story because I never did fully beat this as a kid. I got far in it and then just stopped playing it. Then I'd start over and do it again and stop playing it. And this time I set that this year I do want to beat it because we have beat the first three Donkey Kong Country games. We want to beat Donkey Kong 64, and then we're planning to move on to Donkey Kong Country Returns, and then finish up playing Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. We want to beat all the Donkey Kong games there are, and then I think we'll probably move on to some of the Game Boy Donkey Kong lands and those kind of stuff. Just because we've kind of been in a Donkey Kong mood lately, but we are sprinkling a few other games. But definitely would recommend Donkey Kong 64. Fantastic title. If you've never played it, pick up a copy. It is a great game, really fun to play. Now, another game that we did play, and this is for the Wii U, and that is Super Mario 3D World, which I love this game. This is one game I do hope they eventually port to the Nintendo Switch in the new Super Mario Maker 2, which is actually coming out at the end of this month, which I can't wait for. They actually have the Super Mario 3D World style in that game, which is great. So hopefully, they'll release this on the Switch because not everybody got to experience this game because not everybody had a Wii U. But if you do have a Wii U, this is a fantastic title. You can play up to 4 players. You can choose to play as Mario, Luigi, the Princess, or the Toad, and they all have their own unique personalities, the way they control everything, and it's really fun. And they introduced cat suits, so you can become Cat Mario, which I really like. That's one of my favorite. Having Cat Mario, you have the Cat Luigi, the Cat Toad, the Cat Peach, and stuff. Very fun. A lot of all the power ups. I like the design of this game where it's like a 2D/3D world. The story's really fun on it. There's a lot of secrets and stuff to unlock, and of course, getting all the star coins. Really fun game. I like a lot of the power ups. There's that double power where you can make two of yourself. You get another, and you get 3 Marios, 4 Marios that control with each other. I've ever had I think 5 at once, but it gets really difficult trying to control all of them because they all move at the same time in the same direction. But this was a really fun title. I still have not beat it yet, but I let my buddy Grant play it with me, and he had fun playing. He liked it, had a lot of fun. It is a great title. So glad to have it on the Wii U, and it's one title I would love to see ported to Nintendo Switch. Such a fun title. A lot of great power-ups in this, and it's a fun Mario game. So I'm definitely looking forward to, what they plan to do in the next entry in the Mario series, because Mario Odyssey was really cool. So maybe we'll see a Mario Odyssey 2 or a completely brand new series. But interesting to see. I've loved Mario since I played it on the original Nintendo and loved them all through the years. This is definitely another fantastic title. Highly recommend. Get a copy of Super Mario 3D World. You'll not go wrong. This next title is for the original Xbox. Now this one I've just played on my own. I originally started with my brother, and I have that save file separate, but I started my own, and it's a really fun game. And this is Justice League Heroes, and this plays just like X-Men Legends and the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, Marvel Ultimate Alliance kind of games, but except with DC heroes. And I did not know that's how this game was until my brother and I started playing it. I think it was last year, and it was really fun. Great game, having a lot of fun with it. Has a lot of great characters from DC. You've got your Batman, you got Flash, Green Lantern, Superman, Wonder Woman, and a few others, because I'm not really big into the DC universe, so I don't know all the characters' names. Of course, they're not all unlocked at the start. And as you play through the story, you have certain characters you play as, and then you get into newer levels, and you have different characters you control, but you have the same leveling up system like you do in X-Men Legends, and characters unlock, and the bosses are really interesting, and it has a good story. And I highly would recommend that you guys check out Justice League Heroes for the original Xbox. Very fun title. You can get this fairly cheap, $5-10. It's usually what it sells for in this area, and it is a good game. Absolutely recommend it. It's just fun. I like to type down adventure games like this, and with that new Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 coming out this year, that's definitely another one I will have to get. It's going to be exclusive to the Nintendo Switch, so I'm glad I have a Switch, so I'll be able to play that game, because I love the first two, and I absolutely love these games. Really good. Superman's really cool because you can make him fly, he can lift cars up and throw them at people. Batman has some interesting gadgets and stuff. The Green Lantern, I liked his different power-ups and stuff. Very fun game, though. Definitely recommend to pick this up and play it. It also says, now on the back, it says that it supports to HD up to 720p, which I haven't hooked it up with the component cables and play. I just played it with the regular AV cables, so I'll be interested to see if that. But it still looked pretty good. I did like the graphics. And like I said, it's fun battling the different enemies in this game and going through the story mode. And you can play with up to 2 players. Definitely recommend if you're a fan of, you like Gauntlet. You like X-Men Legends and games that play like that. Pick up a copy of Justice League Heroes. Very fun game. You won't be disappointed. It's pretty much X-Men Legends but with DC characters, and it's just as fun as that game is. So definitely recommend that. And then the last one, this is the game I've been playing now the last 2 weeks here since I got it. Putting a lot of hours into it, having a blast. And that is Shadows Awakening for Xbox One, which this is fun. I'm liking all the stories. The characters are really good. You play as the Devourer demon, who can absorb the souls of some of his enemies that he defeats, and then he turns them into puppets, and then those are characters you can control, and that's how you unlock characters in the game. At the initial start, you get to choose one of 3 different powerful warriors. You have a warrior, you have a mage, and then you have like an archer. And I chose a mage because I like playing as mages, so that's one of my favorite classes to be. So of course that's what I picked. But there are other characters that you will discover as you play the story. I like the story. It's really good. I like that it's narrated. A lot of the characters in the game are voiced, so there's not just tons of text reading. You actually get to hear voice. The music's done really well, and the quests and stuff are fun. There's side quests to do along with the main quest, and there are at least 2 different endings. I know there might be more, but I'm getting further through the game. I'm not sure how long it is, but I am now on to chapter 4 of how many chapters, I'm not sure. But it's a fun game. I definitely recommend checking this out. You can get this fairly cheap, between 15 and like $30. They also have this on the PS4 if you don't have an Xbox One. Definitely recommend checking out. If you like the top-down isometric RPGs, like your Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance kind of games, Champions of North, that's exactly how this plays. And a lot of people, the critics and stuff, oh, you won't like this terrible game, had kind of mixed reviews. Let me tell you, I've had a blast with it. I love it, and I would recommend you check it out. If you like those kind of games, give it a try. It's definitely different than other games as far as like the the story, and that there's actually like two different worlds that coexist at the same time. You have the demon world, so when you switch to the demon, you fight demons and stuff that the other characters don't see, and then he can also affect enemies in the mortal world, like a spider or something. He can use his power and freeze them, and then you can switch back to one of the mortal characters, and then you can fight that spider that's frozen and combine powers. You can switch characters on the fly, so you have up to 4 in your party at a time. You control one at a time, and with a simple press of the button, right or left trigger, you'll switch to a new character. And some characters, are stronger against certain enemies than other ones. Somebody might be immune to poison, so you might switch over to someone like your mage that does fire attacks because that enemy's weak to fire, or they might be resistant to magic, so you switch to your warrior and do physical attacks on them. And it's nice because you have to come up with combinations and stuff, puzzle solving on the fly, and it's fun to be able to use more than one character and that they can combine their powers with each other to help defeat enemies, which is awesome. You can also unlock characters, like I said, as you progress through the story. Sometimes you unlock them through the story, just naturally give them to you. There's others, if you do side quests and stuff, or the way you do a certain quest, you can unlock characters. And then there are some times where you have to choose between one character or the other. You can't have both, but you can unlock them. There's like, I think, total of 15 characters to unlock, which unfortunately you can't unlock all of them in one playthrough because you have to choose sometimes. So definitely as a gamer, you want to go through it multiple times to unlock everything, and then you can play at higher difficulties. But it's a fun game. Highly recommend you guys check it out. As always, we'll do a little recap. Continuing on Donkey Kong 64, fantastic game released from the Nintendo 64. Definitely recommend playing this. It's a great game to play with friends as well. You can play the different modes where 4 of you pick one of the 5 Kongs and have different modes to battle each other, which is a really fun game. Highly recommend that. Super Mario 3D World, another game you can play, party game, play up to 4 players at once. Fun game, absolutely love the story. It's one I do hope they eventually port to the Nintendo Switch. I also talked about Justice League Heroes. Plays just like X-Men Legends. It's pretty much a similar game to that, just with DC characters. Fun. If you had fun with those games, pick up a copy. You'll also enjoy this. Has a great story. Has a great cast of characters, and a lot of villains and stuff from the series are in this game, which is really cool. And the voice acting is not too bad either. And then the last one that I've been playing the most is Shadows Awakening for Xbox One. Fantastic title. Absolutely love this. Love the concept of having the 2 different worlds that play at the same time, being able to combine your powers together to defeat certain bosses, and unlocking characters as you progress through the story. And I think it has an interesting story, and I really like the music and the atmosphere of the game. It just really draws you into the fantasy world, and it is great. So if you guys have played any of those, let me know what you think. Love to hear from you guys. Also, what have you guys been playing this week? And if you have any suggestions on games you think I should play, let me know. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. Have an amazing day. And Sleepy, we'll see you next time.